Our News is brought to you by Airline.
Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up in our news tonight, a woman killed during a double shooting. High casualties as a 7.2 magnitude earthquake hits near Haiti. Chester Cooper calls for answers on beneficial owners, and road repairs on the way for Andros and Eleuthera. Welcome to our News Weekend, and thanks for joining us. I'm Georgie O'Bain. Topping news tonight. A woman is dead following a double shooting incident in Victoria Gardens subdivision just off Gladstone Road this morning. On scene, the bullet-riddled Nissan Passo, a telling tale of what the victims endured as they attempted to exit the subdivision to turn onto Gladstone Road. The pair were taken to hospital. However, a short time later, the female succumbed to her injuries. The male is listed in serious condition. Investigations into this matter continue. A 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck west of Haiti this morning. Cell phone footage from the island nation captured the moments of panic in the earthquake's aftermath. At least 225 people are dead, according to Haiti's Office of Civil Protection, and that toll is expected to rise. The country is still trying to recover from a magnitude 7 earthquake 11 years ago that killed thousands of residents and left several parts of that island flattened. PLP Deputy Leader Chester Cooper is calling on the government to make public the beneficial owners of the companies that receive COVID-19 pandemic funds. This as he questioned if the terms of the $250 million loan was violated. Our Jillian Gray has that.
The Bahamian people has got a basic right to know how their money is being spent and who it's being spent with, quite frankly. I am confused by the resistance to provide the required information.
PLP Deputy Leader Chester Cooper is slamming the Minnis administration for not disclosing the beneficial owners of companies hired during the pandemic. When the $250 million loan was approved last year, the IMF recommended that the government provide a separate reporting mechanism for COVID spending and publish all contracts, including beneficial ownership, as they said that information will be critical to enhance transparency.
No doubt, on top of that, the IMF loan require that they disclose who the beneficial owners are. This is a loan that they signed. So they are perhaps in violation of the terms and mandate of the loan itself.
The Attorney General said they are drafting regulations to make the Ministry of Finance compliant with the Register of Beneficial Ownership Act, but Cooper wasn't impressed. He added that as the emergency powers orders suspended the regular process for procurement, the government must report on all pandemic spending.
Call for the government, the competent authority, to report to Parliament, lay on the table of the House a list of all of the spending during the pandemic. The amounts, the description of why the spending happened, and the companies to whom payments were made. This is the pandemic orders.
The Exumas and Ragged Island MP pointed out that while in opposition, the FNM promised transparency and freedom of information.
This competent authority thing is getting to the head of the Prime Minister. He is believing that since he has got all of these powers under the emergency orders, that he is no longer mandated to report to his bosses, who are the Bahamian people. But I think they have another thing coming.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Jillian Gray.
A contract valued at over $9 million was signed by the Ministry of Public Works and Apex Pavers on Friday to pave the main road of Queens Highway Central Andros from the southern end of Fresh Creek to Bering Point. The contract will create job opportunities for 30 residents of Andros. The company hopes to finish the project ahead of the 12-month completion date. The contract includes verge clearance, center and edge line striping, installation of street names and stop signs, junction stop bars, and installation of 5,000 cat eyes. And the Ministry of Public Works has also signed a contract valued at nearly $863,000 with Quick Fix Construction Company for repairs to Hatchet Bay's roadways. 10 residents of Hatchet Bay will be hired to carry out work on the project, which began on Monday and is expected to be completed in 6 months. The contract includes verge clearance, pothole patching and repair, installation of street names and stop signs, junction and stop bars, and cat eyes. The ministry also issued 2 contracts for repair of settlement roads in Tarpon Bay, South Eleuthera, and Governor's Harbor. New View Construction Company received a contract for $880,000 for road repairs in Tarpon Bay and a contract for $1.5 million of repairs in roads in Governor's Harbor. The work is expected to be completed in 6 months. And Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works Desmond Bannister announcing that the government will begin what he says is the most ambitious bridge building project in the Bahamas. During Eleuthera's Business Outlook, Bannister said that this will begin early next year with the redevelopment of the Glass Window Bridge costing as much as $35 million.
We expect that we're going to spend some $30 to $35 million on the new structure. I think everybody knows that the Glass Window Bridge is in poor condition. A replacement has been needed for many, many years. The challenge has been that governments, as they budget, have not been able to budget the kind of funding they need. We believe that we have the answer to how we can fund a new bridge.
Bannister said studies have been conducted on climate impact. He said officials will convert the existing bridge into a special tourist attraction that will create new businesses and jobs.
The current bridge, for anyone who goes over there, allows for single lane traffic. It has a restricted load, a capacity of only 12 tons. And sometimes it can be quite an adventure. When the weather is bad, it can be quite an adventure to get across that bridge. That bridge is unique, and it's important that the selected option for replacement structure takes advantage of the character of the location.
Well, a private airline is seeking to make travel to and within the Bahamas a little more luxurious by offering private flights from Fort Lauderdale to Nassau. Tropic Ocean Airways launched its inaugural flight from Fort Lauderdale to New Providence this week. The airline CEO said that with tourism in New Providence rebounding, commercial airline travel is becoming challenging due to capacity issues and crowded terminals. This is where he said his airline will come in, offering a private experience and cutting travel time in half.
We've been working on this for actually several months now. I think as the last, we've all been through this last 18 months, which has been a challenge. And airlift continues to become a challenge as things starts to open up and people who are traveling from Florida to the Bahamas. We found it very, very difficult to fly commercial. So we saw it as a good opportunity for us to bring our service, which we have scheduled service to other locations in the Bahamas, to Nassau. So today we flew the first flight from Fort Lauderdale's Shelter FBO. It's a private terminal in Fort Lauderdale. An hour later, we're here in the Odyssey FBO. And it really takes travel time between airports, cuts it in half.
As demand grows, the airline CEO says they plan to enhance airlift to support tourism and international travel needs.
So it flies right now, it's Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, and the intent is come the fall season to add additional airlift as well.
Do you think it's going to be that amount?
Yeah, we're already sold out on Monday, so I'm excited. So yeah, so as we see demand increase and working with our partners, we will add additional airlift. We are a commuter airline. So we have the capability to add, 5 flights a day during season if we needed to.
Director of Aviation Algernon Cargill was at Odyssey Aviation to welcome the flight. He said uncertainty during the COVID-19 pandemic, coupled with the desire to travel, may cause more persons to lean towards private travel.
Passengers, we are finding they prefer the intimate experience of the smaller planes because, of course, they're petrified about COVID and the like, irrespective of all the safety protocols that exist. People are opting to travel smaller because they want to reduce their risk. And it's important for Tropic Ocean to come to Nassau because now we have not only an alternate way of travel, we have an airline with proven reliability, as well as a long history of travel to Bahamas, particularly here and in Bimini, for example, and they serve it almost exclusively.
Andy Ingram of Bahamas Global Clearance agrees that this is the future of travel to and within the Bahamas.
I think Rob was a bit modest in saying that more is yet to come. I think the Bahamas, the fact that we have so many islands and a huge water passage, you're going to see what we call runway on the waters where we can land in the water with Tropic Ocean. Pre-clearance, obviously we're waiting to open it up. We ran it for 16 months on a test basis, working with Mr. Cargill and his team, and it's been very successful. And we have a lot of demand and a lot of requests because somebody mentioned about intimate travel. We've seen an increase in people buying and investing in properties in the Family Islands based on a need to get there.
And from the courts, a man appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Debbie Ferguson in Grand Bahama on the charge of causing grievous harm. According to police reports, on August 10th, the man got into an argument with another man while on Grand Key at the government dock and stabbed the man in the left shoulder. The victim was taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. In court, Raheem Forbes pled not guilty to the charge and bail was granted in the amount of $10,000. He will return to court on December 2nd. Well, still to come on our News Weekend, Bahamians now have vaccine options. And a new pre-clearance facility nearing completion, and how Stephen Gardner overcame obstacles to win the gold. Stay with us.
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits. Venture into unknown territory. We take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV Cable Channel 212 and streaming live on Facebook on the R News Bahamas page.
Former Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands says he's encouraged by the vaccine options being available to Bahamians. The country received 128,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine from the United States this week, with an additional 250,000 doses expected to come in the near future. The Bahamas is also set to receive nearly 40,000 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
It's a good thing. People want to have options. They want to have choices. So now that is AstraZeneca, and we have signals for Pfizer and now Johnson & Johnson. I doubt seriously that there's going to be a huge demand for Sputnik 5 or Sinopharm.
Dr. Sands is fully vaccinated with the AstraZeneca vaccine, but revealed that he also had received a Pfizer shot. He says that many are still uncertain about taking the vaccine, and his door is open to anybody with questions.
And then we have to continue to work at dealing with the issue of vaccine hesitancy, which is a serious challenge in the Bahamas. I have been fully vaccinated. I would like to encourage as many people to get vaccinated. And if you have some concerns, this isn't about you being stupid or dumb or crazy or what have you. You may just have some concerns. There's a lot of misinformation and disinformation out there. Give me a call. Call me. I'll be happy to try and get you to see where the falsehoods are. And let's try and get one person vaccinated at a time.
Well, the Bahamas will be the first Caribbean country to launch pre-clearance from South Florida Airport. According to Bahamas Global Clearance President Andy Ingram, the pre-clearance facility will house Bahamian customs and immigration officials. Ingram said the facility, which will facilitate pre-cleared private flights, is nearing completion.
Right now we're going through building it out. We're just about finished. We're waiting for approval from the various authorities, and we're working through that, just to make sure that we have a first-class operation.
Ingram said the facility is expected to create new jobs, and he expects Bahamians to take full advantage of those opportunities.
Pre-clearance is just going to be another opportunity for people to fly directly to the destination that they want to go into the Family Islands, and it's something that the government of the Bahamas had wanted to do for many years. How do we open up the Family Islands? How do we create more economic activity in the Family Islands? And that's important to us. And much more important is how do we get Bahamians to work? How do we get Bahamians to continue to enjoy this good thing that we have called the Golden Goose tourism?
When our News Weekend comes back from the break, how an Olympic champion overcame obstacles to achieve gold glory, plus a social media sensation gets brazen. We have the details when our news returns.
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits. Venture into unknown territory. We take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV Cable Channel 212 and streaming live on Facebook on the R News Bahamas page.
This is our News Weekend. Welcome back. Well, at difficult times, the Bahamas has produced 2 Olympic champions, with Shawnee Miller-Weibo and Stephen Gardner winning the 400-meter finals in Tokyo, Japan. Gardner won his first Olympic gold, beating out the field in a time of 43.85 seconds. Gardner didn't only have to deal with the pandemic difficulties.
It means so much, and I give God thanks for it, because early this year, I had 2 kind of small injuries. One with my ankle when I fell at a race, and my knee sometimes it would give me issues. But I got treatment, I went to the doctor, and I started a few weeks out of competition, but it all paid off in the end.
Gardner was applauded for his strong performance during the 400-meter final. He was asked what he focuses on during training.
To be tough, you just have to enjoy the pain, and you also have to remember that the pain is only temporary. 30 minutes from now, you're not going to feel it, but it hurts, but you have to practice good posture and good technique.
She's been producing some of the funniest videos online for over a decade. Now Bahamian online sensation Tap is back. Launching her new web series, Brazen, she spoke with our Kyle Joaquin.
I'm Tap, and this is Brazen.
Never one to hold her tongue. Tracy Ann Propel, better known as Tap, has ventured off into something new and brazen.
So guys, I have my hashtag bold and brazen toast, so you gotta repeat after me. We big and we brazen. It embodies summer, island life, the Bahamas. It's meant to be really silly and sizzling and just something that brings joy to people in these difficult times. I just wanted people to have something they could watch and laugh and enjoy and just brighten up their day.
Talking with some of the movers and shakers in Bahamian entertainment, Tap dives in, asking the not-so-tough questions. Well, kinda.
Okay, Timmy, first question. Truthfully, tell the Bahamian people, who did you vote for in the last election and why?
I voted for the F&M because
You didn't even hesitate. Yeah. You different, because I would not answer that question. Oh, we have a lot of amazing Bahamian creatives and entertainers. There's Bodine, there's Timay, there's Wendy, Roxy, Zaneo, everyone knows him as Sarge. So that episode is really, really wild. It's Sarge and Vocab, who does all the impersonations of everyone. So we have a lot of really creative, interesting people, talented people that I wanted to show in a different light. I feel like with a lot of interviews, sometimes it's very serious, and I just wanted to show their fun side. It ain't even coming out. In and coming to yours.
With the beach as the backdrop and toes in the sand, Tap says she wanted people to just enjoy summer and enjoy the show.
A lot of the questioning is meant to be like fun and very tongue-in-cheek. Yes, it's not meant to be taken too serious. So we ask people about like their summer escapades and adventures, dating, a lot of silly stuff. And, we make the questions really spicy so that if they refuse to answer, they have consequences, which is really, I made the questions as spicy as I could because I want to see people suffer a little bit.
After 13 years in online content creation, Tap said she felt it was time to try something new. Something she's always wanted to do.
I wanted really to make people happy. I wanted, even if it's only for 30 minutes to an hour, you watch the show and you laugh and you feel, lightness for a little bit. You've had a hard day, you've been working, going through all these challenges. Literally, my intention was I want people to feel happy and to have that escape from all of the hardships that we've been facing, and to do it in a very Bahamian way. So people can watch Brazen on social media. It's on my YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. You can follow me on all those platforms, and you should be able to have a nice little squawk, a little laugh, enjoy yourself.
For Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Up next, Rotarians helping students prepare to get back to school, and members of the Defense Force and the Police Force complete joint training. We'll have the details after this.
Every new season of On the Record, we push the limits. Venture into unknown territory. We take our cameras into places unseen before. We share the stories and experiences that affect us all. And now it's time for Season 5. On the Record, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on RTV Cable Channel 212 and streaming live on Facebook on the R News Bahamas page.
Welcome back to our news. The Rotary Club of Southeast Nassau presenting the Youth Department of Living Faith Seventh-day Adventist Church with school supplies and a monetary donation to kick off the new school year.
As you know, Rotary Clubs, in this case, we're trying to answer the call of making a donation to the Education Department of the Living Faith Seventh-day Adventist Church in conjunction with our partners, Commonwealth Bank and CompuTitle, and its CEO, past President Lyle Haven. We're also going to make a small monetary donation, as well as the supplies you see behind us. As we all know, these are very trying times, and so in the Rotary Club, we continue to do our work and to make donations as best we can.
Education Secretary of the Church, Dr. Lavinia Smith, says that the donation will go a long way.
I would like to say a heartfelt thank you to President Kelman and Mrs. Bethel for your generous donation. Please be assured that this will go a long way as students continue their educational pursuits, and I'm sure that parents are appreciative because, as you would have said, these are very trying and tough economic times. And once again, I say thank you for the stellar job that you continue to do in the communities throughout the Bahamas. They are ready, and I'm sure the parents are ready for them to be back in school.
Members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and the Royal Bahamas Police Force recently completed joint combined exercise training. Participants of the 6-week training exercise consisted of 24 Defense Force Marines and 5 police officers. The training was designed to enhance future joint mission and success to ensure that the Marines are trained in various aspects of infantry and tactics are embedded in the wider service to be able to respond if necessary. Officials say that participation of the police officers enhances the relationship of the two partner organizations as the country now sees more joint operations between the two. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Georgie O'Bain, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Stay safe, Bahamas.